Joe Rogan left speechless as guest reveals shocking secrets about Obama. Joe Rogan, the world-renowned podcaster known for his candid and thought-provoking conversations, was left in stunned silence when a recent guest dropped shocking revelations about former President Barack Obama. The discussion, which took place on the Joe Rogan Experience, sent waves across the internet as listeners reacted to the explosive claims. The moment that left Rogan speechless. Over the years, Rogan has built a reputation for hosting guests from all walks of life: comedians, scientists, politicians, and controversial figures alike. His podcast thrives on open dialogue, often diving into topics that mainstream media shies away from. However, even with his experience handling shocking conversations, this particular episode took him by surprise. The guest, whose identity is currently stirring debate among political circles, claimed to have inside knowledge of events that occurred during Obama's presidency. As the guest detailed the alleged secrets, Rogan sat back, visibly taken aback, occasionally interjecting with incredulous reactions like, "Wait, are you serious? And how has this not been talked about before?" What were the revelations? While the full details of the conversation are still making their rounds online, several key claims stood out. The guest touched on 1. Unreported government actions. According to the guest, certain covert operations carried out during Obama's presidency have remained hidden from the public, raising questions about transparency. These alleged actions, if true, challenge the perception of Obama's administration as one of the most transparent in modern history. 2. Media cover UPS. The guest suggested that major news networks deliberately ignored or downplayed controversies involving the former president, choosing instead to focus on narratives that maintained his public image. This claim sparked further discussion on the role of corporate media in shaping political discourse. 3. Surveillance programs. While it's well known that the Obama administration expanded surveillance through the NSA, the guest alleged that the extent of these programs was far greater than what was disclosed. If true, this would suggest that American citizens were monitored more extensively than previously believed. For foreign policy decisions, one of the most jaw-dropping revelations involved Obama's handling of foreign conflicts. The guest claimed that behind the scenes, decisions were made that contributed to long-term instability in several regions, yet these actions were framed in a way that avoided significant public backlash. Rogan's reaction, a rare moment of silence. Joe Rogan is known for his ability to remain composed during intense discussions, but this time, he was left visibly shaken. At one point, he paused for several moments, processing the information before responding. His reaction was a mix of disbelief, frustration, and curiosity. His audience, which spans millions, quickly took to social media to discuss the episode. Some were skeptical of the claims, while others felt they confirmed long-standing suspicions about government secrecy and media bias. Why this conversation matters. Regardless of one's political stance, discussions like these are crucial in challenging official narratives and prompting deeper inquiry. The conversation raised questions about how much the public truly knows about the actions of elected leaders and whether media outlets play a role in shaping or suppressing certain narratives. The episode also reignited debates about government transparency, media integrity, and the power structures that influence global affairs. Some listeners praised Rogan for allowing controversial discussions to take place, while critics argued that spreading unverified claims could contribute to misinformation. The bigger picture. The role of independent media. Episodes like this highlight why independent media platforms like the Joe Rogan Experience have become so influential. Unlike traditional news networks, which are often constrained by corporate interests and political affiliations, Rogan's platform allows for open-ended discussions that challenge mainstream perspectives. This is precisely why Rogan has maintained such a massive following. He provides a space where alternative viewpoints can be heard without immediate dismissal. Whether the guest's claims are entirely accurate or not, they have sparked conversations that mainstream outlets are hesitant to engage in. What happens next? With the episode gaining traction, many are wondering whether mainstream media will address the claims or continue to ignore them. Some viewers are calling for further investigation into the allegations made on the podcast, while others believe it will be dismissed as another controversial discussion in the Roganverse. One thing is certain. This episode has added fuel to ongoing debates about government transparency, media bias, and the role of independent journalism. As more people seek out alternative sources of information, conversations like this will only become more common. Final thoughts. Joe Rogan's stunned reaction to his guest's revelations about Obama underscores the importance of open dialogue and investigative curiosity. Whether or not these claims hold weight, they serve as a reminder that history is often more complex than it appears. In a world where official narratives dominate the mainstream, platforms like Rogan's offer a space for deeper questioning, something that, regardless of political affiliation, is essential in any democratic society.